Welcome back, everyone, to another Total Drama video. I'm here with GeneralTrevor, the best YouTuber of all time.
You don't need to say all that much, but what's up?
So today we are going to be discussing every Total Drama season, including Ridonculous Race, other contestants that could have won the season, depending on if it was written differently, and it would be actually good.
Maybe,
Maybe,
maybe.
maybe. And so we're going to start with Island, and we're going to swap between our choices. Some of them we agree on, and some of them we don't, but we still are mostly splitting it equally. So first, I'll be talking about Lashana and Island. Now, in the middle of the season, at times it does feel like Lashana is like the main character instead of Gwen, because she of course also feuds with Heather, but she just at times has more screen time than Gwen, and so they could have easily like switched their places. But I don't actually mind her elimination. Like, I think she was. I think if they wanted her to be fifth no matter what, so even though it's unfair, like at least it's funny, so I'm okay with it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got Jeff,
Mhm.
who you can easily replace with Owen. Like if you just wrote Jeff a little bit differently, you could easily just put him in Owen's spot. It wouldn't have changed much. I personally think it would have been better, but like it wouldn't have changed much of anything. Like the only difference is that Jeff doesn't like Duncan, or he didn't like Duncan after like he voted off Bridget or whatever,
Mhm.
and Owen did like Duncan, but that's pretty much it. But only like appeals to the kids more, I guess. So I guess that's why they went with him. Plus, he's like the mascot. He motherfucker got like a fucking Canadian leaf on his shirt. So
Yeah. It would be the same vibes. Same
mhm.
vibes. And now, with Total Drama Action, I'm going to start with Harold. Now, he would definitely. I mean, no one wants Beth to win Action. Like not most people
no,
are
nobody,
not into
nobody
that.
does.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, lots of people like the idea of a Harold Duncan finale, and I'm okay with Harold and Lindsay too. But and Duncan, I wouldn't be mad about because he had so many great comedic moments in the season, and he already had like a rivalry with Duncan, so he had a storyline and an arc as well. So it would have been cool to see him win, especially because his elimination is really like quick and
That was so
underwhelming.
dumb. That was so dumb.
Yeah, especially because Owen is
So
there.
fucking stupid.
Like, why not eliminate him? Okay, next is Lindsay. So that's yours.
All right, so Lindsay's the other one who people wanted to win. People wanted to see her like her versus Harold, or like her versus Duncan, or even her against Courtney. But for Lindsay, it's pretty simple. People just like Lindsay, I would say. She has a big presence in the season, and then throughout the season, she sort of have like development and how she gets smarter throughout. Like in the Get a Clue episode, that's like her big standout episode, I think, where she actually does shit.
Yeah,
So,
and
but
she's
like
eliminated right after
she's the
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If she's basically a way better version of what they were trying to do with Beth, like a way better version. So I don't know why they just didn't go with Lindsay, because it's basically the same story with Beth. It's the same thing, just Lindsay's way better.
Yeah,
And plus, like if they wanted to go like the underdog route, Lindsay's the one who got taken advantage way more than Heather. By
yeah,
Heather, I mean. So I don't understand why they didn't just go with Lindsay.
yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I really want to know
So
what the
dumb.
production decision was behind the scenes for why they
Yeah.
chose Beth, because they
I mean,
never brought her back.
maybe they thought like people were gonna like her because like they maybe could relate to her or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, right from the first episode, they kind of push her when she like gets her braces off, and everyone is like, "Girl, you look so good."
Like she had like a glow up or something, even though she
Yeah,
looks the exact same.
no, it was forced.
It really was so garbage.
Okay,
You're just annoying.
next is Lashana. So I'll just put her back in this tier. I don't think Lashana is like the most popular from this season, but I actually think she's like she could. I think she might be better in this season than the original Island, because I think her arc is cool, like the way she shit talked everyone. Like some people might find her unlikable because of that, but I think it gives her like a flaw, and
It does.
it gives her a flaw, and it makes her more interesting because it's not like in Island everyone likes her and she's likable. So, but it was kind of forced. I feel like in the
Kind of.
episode,
Only because like he went against Heather.
yeah, like in the resort episode, even Courtney was like, I can't say anything bad about her. It's like it's a little bit weird,
Okay.
but yeah, in Action, I think she could have made a great winner, especially because her elimination is really weird. It doesn't really make sense why Harold would vote for her, just because Courtney said so. Like it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one is Justin. You need to rewrite a lot of this to make Justin work.
Yeah.
Like you need to rewrite like at least like from the half point of the season forward. But if you really wanted to, I think it could be done. I still, even if you still don't change anything, I still think he's a better winner than Beth, which is saying nothing. But still, I would probably give him like a redemption halfway through the season if you wanted to make him a winner. Just have him be like, I don't fucking know. Ugly people are nice too or some shit. I don't know.
An amazing arc.
I mean, you know what I'm saying though. Just
Yeah.
like make him nicer. Just make him nicer.
Yeah.
And then for the Courtney, just have him not like Courtney. I guess it doesn't matter all that much.
Yeah. If you have him be the one
And
who
like maybe have him,
helps get Courtney out, it'd be a good route for him.
There's put him with Harold or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give them something to do. But it's possible, and he would be a better winner than Beth. He's pretty funny. I think personally he's funny. I do think he gets overhated a lot by the stuff I see personally.
Yeah.
The people I know like him, but like online, this dude's always getting shit on. It doesn't make sense to me. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, I guess they just don't get the humor or whatever.
Yeah. I think he's super funny too. I just wish they kept up his like antagonist energy because after the first 7 episodes, they kind of just give up on that.
Well, they just brought Courtney in, so they probably just gave up on him and they brought Courtney in to fill his role.
Yeah. I don't know if that was intentional. Like they thought it was like a cool twist or something.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah. But next season is World Tour, and we both completely agree with Heather and Alejandro. So what we're talking about is more so like who could be third place.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
you can't change Heather and Alejandro. You just cannot change that.
Yeah, you cannot change it. So I think Noah would be a cool third place, and I think with this route, you'd have to have him be the one who returns. Because I think it makes sense for Alejandro to get him out, and it makes Alejandro seem competent. So I think
it does. I mean, like his biggest opponent's like what? Other than Heather, Duncan.
Yeah.
Like that's his biggest opponent, other than Heather, obviously.
Yeah.
Like Sierra is only a challenge threat, and Cody's no threat at all. Like let's be for real.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything. So.
Mm-hmm. So I think it'd be cool if Noah returned, because then he would be like, okay, I have to actually try now. And he
knows what's going on. He knows what's going on. So
yeah, I think it'd be more of a active presence than Cody, who just kind of gets manipulated every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So next
then we have Tyler. Yeah, I'm pretty biased on this one, but it's okay. It's okay. But basically, the way I see it is maybe a little bit in the merge. You have Tyler start to be conflicted on what's going on with Alejandro. Be like, oh shit, is this the right thing to do? Whatever. Is Alejandro maybe have Heather talk to him? I think that could be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not be like friends or anything, but just have her be like, Tyler, you're dumb as fuck. How are you not saying this? Let's be for real.
Yeah.
And then Tyler can be like, wow, you're right. Maybe I am dumb as fuck. And then Tyler can be like sort of against Alejandro or something.
Yeah.
And then Alejandro can boot him in the final 3. I think it would be way more personal than just having Cody in there. Because Tyler has connections to Alejandro, and Cody has no connections to Heather whatsoever. Like he even says Heather is nice to him. So and then for Alejandro, all Alejandro did was just give him candy.
Yeah.
So I think Tyler would be a better person in there. Just personally, I think he would be a way better choice. And like he interacted with Alejandro at the start of the season. Meanwhile, Cody was just busy doing Sierra shit. So
yeah. I think Cody is just really weird in the last few episodes because he just kind of like swaps between whether he likes Heather or Alejandro all the time.
I mean, the final 2 episodes were good with him, but before that, he really didn't do much.
Yeah.
Other than Sierra, obviously.
Yeah, I think he is good in the last few episodes, but I mean, he kind of has to be because he has to like actually step it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, who's next? Duncan is my next pick, and I mean, I know people don't want Duncan to like get far because he thinks he had too much screen time, but
I don't.
I do think in World Tour he is perfectly fine. I actually like that he returns because he does stir it up, and
he does.
Yeah, I don't like that Noah and Tyler get eliminated because of him, but if Noah returned, that would make it a lot better. But if Duncan did get third place, he would be a really big rival and threat to Heather and Alejandro. So I don't think it would be like the best thing possibly, but I do think it would be.
Yeah, it
Really
would be too
interesting.
obvious because he already won the last season. So
Yeah,
that's what I think, anyways.
yeah. But it would be fun to watch, even though it'd be obvious. All right,
Mhm.
your next one is DJ.
So this is a really big reach, a really big one. Like this is like one of the last options I would want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just me spitballing. But if you really wanted to, so it's sort of the same thing with Tyler, since Alejandro manipulated him around the time he got eliminated, and he also has stuff with Heather too, because I believe Heather was trying to get him on her side.
Yeah,
So he does have stuff with Heather too. So you have those interactions already done, and he can also just fill in the underdog role that Cody did.
yeah,
Maybe not in the same way because Cody's like fucking twice as small as him,
mm-hmm.
but still, DJ is a sympathetic character, especially in World Tour. Even if the storyline was kind of dumb, he
Mm-hmm.
is still sympathetic, so he can still fill that role if you really, really want him to. You just need to figure out stuff for him to do in the merge because there
Yeah,
is not much for him to do in the merge.
true. And it would be like a fun like parallel or like storyline, I guess, that
Mm,
he's on the
yeah,
loser team and he's the
yeah, and
only
then he
one
makes like
left.
final three. Yeah.
Yeah, but he still comes in the final three.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next is Ezekiel.
So Ezekiel, this is another big reach, and it's sort of the same thing with DJ, except that he doesn't have the Heather and Alejandro interactions. But in for a better thing for going for Ezekiel is that he is a way, way bigger underdog than DJ or even Tyler, and I would even argue that he's a way bigger underdog than Cody for the sense because he really got voted out the first season, and then like he did nothing in action. So Ezekiel is probably like one of the biggest underdogs in the show if you really wanted to put him in there. Well, he can't turn furrow. I'm not having a fucking furrow in the final three. I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
But if he stays human and like sort of has like a redemption arc, like, oh, I like girls now. I'm not a
Yeah.
sexist. I'm not sexist anymore. Then cool, go ahead, do that. But obviously, I mean, like it would be like a cool story from like first eliminated to like third place. That'd be like a good little simple story to write.
Yeah.
But yeah, once it is a big reach, you need to find stuff for him to do, which is hard because every character sort of taken with interactions. Every character is doing their own thing, so it'd be hard to push it Ezekiel in there.
Yeah.
But it is possible if you really wanted to.
Yeah. He'd be like a lone wolf if he was in it, I guess.
Pretty much. Yeah,
So I
I
don't
guess
think anyone
so.
would want to side with him.
Yeah, nobody would. Not in the merge, anyways. I don't see anyone in the merge
Yeah. He would just
want to
get
be with
float by.
him. Yeah.
But next one is Revenge of the Island, and I think Cameron is a great winner, and I think Lightning is a good finalist against him. I just don't like that he
I
wins.
agree.
I just don't like that he
Yeah,
wins, but it's
his
okay.
and they sort of forced that at the end with the dad stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit forced. So if there weren't alternate
Mm-hmm.
endings and Cameron was the proper winner, I'd be completely fine with the elimination order. But I'm going to be talking about Zoe, and I don't necessarily want her to win Revenge of the Island, but at least it would save her from winning All Stars, right? Like she wouldn't be in the finale.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
she is kind of like the deuteragonist, so like second main character, or
Mm-hmm.
just even like female main
I
protagonist.
would even have her like her as the main character in some ways.
Yeah,
In some ways, not. Well, she's the biggest relationship of the season, so
yeah. And her and Cameron, I do think Cameron is the main protagonist, just because he wins. But you could
that's fair.
you
Yeah,
could say Zoe and Cameron are both it, because Zoe does have more beef
yeah,
with Scott than Cameron does.
that's true.
Cameron is just like kind of secondary, so she could be a cool winner as well. Especially because the Commando Zoe stuff is cool. I actually like that.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it was decent.
Yeah. Next is Brooke.
So Brick, Brick is another underdog one. I wouldn't say he's a better underdog for the season than Cameron because I do like the nerd versus I guess the athlete dynamic they were going for. And Brick doesn't really fit that, especially in like the final challenge where it's sort of like a brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Brick doesn't really fit that because he can stand toe to toe with Lightning if he really wanted to. He was in the military after all,
Yeah.
but he is still an underdog at the end of the day. He was pretty funny in his role. You would need to find stuff for him to do in the merge. Maybe just have him interact with Joe more. Those
Yeah.
are pretty funny, and just give him like another simple storyline for him to do. But it is possible if you like don't, if the writers just hate Cameron for some reason, just put Brick in there.
Yeah.
Although at the end of the day, I still think Cameron was a better choice as a finalist because he fits that sort of weakling mold more, if you want to say that, the nerd role. Well, Brick really does not fit that, but Brick would still be a fine choice if they went that route.
Yeah. Burke is super popular and really likable, so I
Yeah,
think if they did a second season of Revenge of the Island, he would be a really good winner.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think people would hate that at all.
Yeah. That'd
He's
be
one
really
of the few that I don't see many dislikes for. I don't see many people hating Brick.
Yeah, he's really, really popular, which is kind of weird
Yeah.
because he only like 6, 7 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Same thing with Don, even less than Brick.
true. But Brick doesn't get the hate for being overrated,
That's true. That's true.
even though he's
He
he's
doesn't.
really
You're right.
consistently popular from what I've
He
seen.
is.
But my next pick is Joe, and Joe's my favorite from Revenge of the Island, so it could be a little biased, but I think she would make a better winner than Lightning. Maybe I'm biased because she is like really mean.
Maybe.
But yeah, I think it would just work. It would still be Brains versus Brawn, but it wouldn't be the exact same dynamic.
Yeah.
And Trevor has said before that
I mean,
maybe they wouldn't want Cameron to beat up on a woman, so maybe they wouldn't.
that's true. That's true. I mean, yeah. They probably wouldn't want that. But Joe would be beating up this dude for the most of the time anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So
Yeah. Equal rights, equal fights. So that's really only my reasoning, other than I just really like her. And
yeah,
she fits the same role as Lightning.
pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
they're easy to swap if you
Yeah.
really wanted to.
Yeah.
And plus,
And-
for Joe, you don't have to sort of change your character in the final 2 episodes or
Yeah.
final 3 episodes, whatever it was. When Lightning suddenly becomes evil for no reason,
Yeah.
like he just became like a total asshole for no reason whatsoever. Like
Yeah.
I guess Cameron sort of tricked him, but still.
Yeah. The weird thing about that is I don't I don't think Cameron was trying to steal his win. I think he just like wanted to not get left
Hide
behind.
away from Zoe or whatever. I forgot what happened, but he was trying to hide from something. I think like the flower or whatever.
No, it's
The
the
mutant.
final 4 episode, I think.
Oh yeah.
Lightning gets mad at Cameron because he hitches a ride on his back because Lightning was about to abandon him. And then Lightning
Yeah.
like backed up into the pole and Cameron accidentally won.
I thought that was final 3.
No, that's
Or
4.
I'm tripping.
Yeah, he gets mad at Cameron
Was
in
that
final
final 4?
3. I mean 4.
Oh, okay.
We're mixing each other up.
Okay. It's fine.
Yeah. But next is All Stars. And
There's
we
a
have
lot
a lot
for
of
All-Stars.
candidates for this. But you would have to change a lot. So my first pick is Joe.
Yeah.
And Joe gets kicked off like right away in episode 3. But I think she would be very interesting in this season to be she would learn to be less aggressive and more manipulative.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, in Revenge of the Island, she was completely saved by the fact that her team never lost.
Mhm.
Because if they did,
And she got swapped at the right time.
Yeah. So she was really lucky. But I think in All Stars, in the first episode, she makes a lot of big moves. Like she's trying to talk to Lightning and Duncan, and they actually seem to like her a bit, or they're tolerating her.
Yeah.
So I think that could have been a good storyline, and she could have gone far then and even won.
Especially with Heather. I mean, I know they wanted to put Heather with Alejandro and have Alejandro do that thing.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you can still do stuff with Joe. I think that storyline had way more potential than what actually happened.
Yeah.
Like it was probably the best cross-generation interaction in the show. Maybe I'm blanking on some. I mean, Duncan and Zoe were good.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Heather and Joe are certainly up there for cross-gen interactions.
Yeah.
And they completely whiffed on that for some reason. I don't know why they just abandoned that storyline. You just have Heather be Joe in like episode 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
When it easily could have been like a 6-episode thing. Or like at least maybe like a few more episodes. So it's sort of like a team captain thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't go into merge because it is a team captain, but still, it had way more potential than what actually happened. Complete whiff. But that's common for All Stars, so we expect that.
Yeah. One of my problems with All Stars that doesn't even necessarily have to do with the writing specifically is that I think over half the cast, I think 8 of them are finalists.
That's
which means
true.
they're winners because of alt endings, and so it makes it obvious that they won't reach it again.
I mean, even like one of the non-winners who people were expecting to win got voted off first. So.
Yes. Yeah, I remember when the season was about to come out when I was a little child, and everyone thought the finale was going to be Courtney and Lindsay.
I mean, I can see why they thought that.
Yeah.
Especially because there was a male finale in the previous season. So.
Yes. So that's what everyone was thinking.
Anyways, the next one is Courtney.
Yep.
Which is very obvious why she is here. I mean, it's everyone was expecting her to win until she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had this stupid Gwen story. I know some people like that storyline. I think it's fucking garbage. But if you like it, that's all you. But even with that storyline, the ending was dumb. Everyone agrees that the ending was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
She made like a list, and it had like, I think it was Scott like in the finale with her. Then Gwen was like third, and then Mike was like a wild card or something.
Yeah.
It was dumb, and it completely revealed her plan just so Mal could get her out. It was just a blatant excuse to have Gwen hate her again,
Yeah.
have Scott be mad at her, and give Mike an excuse to get Courtney out. That's all that was. Because realistically, she could have just done that in her head, and then it wouldn't be on paper. But they just need an excuse to get Courtney out, make her look dumb. But back on topic, Courtney as a winner, that's pretty obvious. The whole time people were hoping for a redemption of her character. And it is super easy to do. You have Gwen right there. Just put her with Gwen like you did, and just have that continue. Maybe not make it as obvious. Like they were commenting on each other's hair and how it smells or something, or how it looks.
Yes.
That
Katie
was
and
dumb.
Sadie part 2.
But yeah, just make it less obvious, and at the end just have them be like, "Oh, we're cool now." Not like fucking best friends forever, but like, okay, we're cool. It's very easy, and then just have Courtney be like sort of nice, not too nice, not Zoe nice, but just have her be nice.
Yeah.
And then she can win. It's super simple. I don't know why they didn't do that, and just have Courtney be a bitch again for no reason.
Mm-hmm. And if they were going to have her lose, like if Courtney isn't going to win the season, you have to like complete her character arc by having her be like, okay, I accept this.
Yeah, that would be fine too, but they didn't do that either.
Yeah,
so.
They chose the worst possible route.
Exactly.
Could have gone.
We cannot even think of a worst possible route they could have gone.
Mm-hmm.
So dumb. But yeah, that's everyone knows how Courtney should have won All Stars, or at least should have lost All Stars in a more respectful manner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have to be saying this; everyone already knows it. So
yeah, I think that is like the most infamous thing about the entire show in the fandom.
Yeah, that was really dumb. Or the love triangle, but still, it's up there. I mean, it sort of involves a love triangle in a way.
Yeah. All right, my next one is Sierra, and this also requires a lot of rewriting because her being obsessed with Cameron was like so dumb. Like she changed his whole skin color in her mind to fit that. And yeah, she was just really annoying. She did have some funny moments even in All Stars, like when she screamed at Zoe because she thought she was invisible. Like that's top tier. But everything else was horrible. But when I was watching All Stars, I was like, has Sierra seen Revenge of the Island? Like I was thinking that. And she said a couple things that made me think that she has seen Revenge of the Island. So I was like, okay, make up for the lost potential in World Tour and have her use strategy to example. She doesn't need to be a villain, but have her use her knowledge of contestants to benefit her, you know?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I can see that.
Because some of the other characters the original characters seem to have not watched Revenge of the Island, but Sierra did.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing there.
Yeah. So still have her be a
But yeah, I mean, yeah. Me personally, I wouldn't have Sierra win, but that's a way better storyline than what they actually did. Yeah. What they did was so dumb. Like, she got like, I don't know what the word is, but she like got sort of like just wanted Cody so bad that like she started fucking hallucinating over this dude. It was so embarrassing.
Delusional.
And then she had like pet mutants or whatever that was.
Yes. Girl needs to chill.
So
and I have no idea how the storyline with her and Cody ends, because the way she talks about him makes it seem like they hang out.
They just forgot everything. They forgot everything in World Tour.
Yeah.
Like how she sort of became chill in World Tour, and then she's taking pictures of him in the shower. So even though they live in the same place, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Or she's just stalking him again. So
yeah. I have no idea what
But anyways. Yeah. Anyways, the next one is Gwen. Normally, I would not have Gwen here, but if you want to do a double winner, I think Gwen in All Stars is the right choice.
Yeah,
I think there are better options, but if you really wanted to, I think Gwen would be the best double winner
I agree.
in this season. Yeah, because it's a simple storyline. She suffered through action and World Tour. She was not herself. You could say she was not herself, or you could say that bad things happened to her. You could say she
Yeah,
lost Trent. She's and then she had beef with Courtney, and then even at the start of All Stars, she has beef with Duncan.
yeah.
So her story can be her overcoming all of that, becoming, I don't want to say a nice person again because she is still nice, but she is sort of a bitch now, or like a bitch in a different way than she was in Island.
Yeah,
So you could just have her be more nicer again, you could say, and then just have her sort of be like, hey, I want to be back to where I was in Island, where everything was all chill or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And then that could be working her way to another win. And it would feel different, I think, than her Island win because she did grow as a character, even if it is in bad ways. She
Yeah,
did grow. But even in All Stars, you could just have her grow as a better person overall. And that would complete her arc very well from what she was in Island. Still,
yeah.
she was a good person in Island, but she still had growth to do as a character. And so you can finish that off in All Stars with another win. I think that'd be a good chapter end or like a storybook end to her character.
Yeah, it
Do
would come
not
full
bring her back
circle.
if she won. That'd be dumb if you brought her back once she won, but
Yeah,
pretty much that's that, you could say. And if you really wanted to, you could just have Courtney lose to her and have Courtney be like, oh, I'm good with that now. And that also completes Courtney's storyline. So that's 2-1 right there.
yeah.
So
It was weird what they did. Like, she was obsessed with being seen as like heroic and really nice, and I thought that was
yeah,
so
it
weird.
was so dumb. She was trying to apologize to Courtney, and then she's like, I'm sorry, Courtney, but I didn't do anything wrong. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, why are you saying sorry if you don't think you did anything wrong?
yeah.
That whole part was so dumb. But
It was so
there is
weird
a
for this
better way to
season that
write
they like
Gwen.
had all new writers for the most part.
Yeah,
It was really
I
weird.
mean, pretty much.
All
But
right.
yeah, that's when it all started. She really wanted.
Yeah. My next pick is Lindsay again. I'm obviously a huge Lindsay fan. Um, oh wait, no, Lindsay was your last pick, but she was also one of mine. But we just swapped.
Yeah,
But yeah, I really don't have much to say other than Lindsay is just
I mean, it's
so many
obvious.
people love Lindsay.
It's obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, and she got out first, and it makes
I
sense.
mean, it would
They
be
just
hard
made
to
her
write a
so stupid.
storyline for her.
Yeah,
Maybe continue off of what Action did in a way.
yeah.
I
Imagine
mean,
if
they were
Mal
going to
was
have
still in
her.
the season and she was the one who found out.
Oh my god.
That's a
But
crack
what
arc.
what they were trying to do with Lindsay, like they were gonna have like her breakup with Tyler off screen or whatever. I don't know how that would be relevant to All Stars at all.
Yeah,
Like, why would they even mention that? But thankfully, Lindsay did not go far for that to happen. But in this case, if Lindsay did go far, how would you like create a story for her? Like,
yeah.
how would you do that?
Maybe you can have her be like the mediator between Gwen, Duncan,
That's
and
true.
Courtney somehow. I don't know how
I
that
mean,
would
I
work.
get it. It would give her something to do.
Yeah. All right. Your
Like,
next one is
or she
Scott.
could start to be like, Scott, yeah. So Scott, another obvious one you could say. I don't where they took his character in All Stars is iffy because some people say it is a lot better than what he was in Revenge. I didn't really like his Revenge character either, so I could see why they would say that. But at the same time, I don't see how like Scott would win as that comedy character. I mean, comedy characters do win,
Mm-hmm.
but for Scott, it's sort of different since he was a villain before.
Yeah.
And sort of All Stars. I think the writers were like trying to make All Stars like a punishment for Scott or something. But this dude they got hurt almost every time he was on screen. So, but as a winner, I mean, it's very simple for him to do. Just make him a redemption arc, you could say. I mean, that All Stars was a sort of a redemption arc for Scott already. So just tone down the comedy in a way, and just have Scott win if you really wanted. I mean, people say they wanted Scott to win already.
Yeah.
I mean, even as it was written, Scott is one of the better finalist options, which is not saying much, but
Yeah.
he is one of the better options to win in the current canon All Stars. So I mean, there's not much I have to say in
Yeah.
that regard.
All Stars is our biggest category because it's such a mess.
Yeah, so garbage.
All right. My next one for Pahkitew is Sammy. I actually like the twin storyline, and I think when the season came out, Sammy was one of the most popular characters. But now I think people are kind of like, she's just boring. But I actually like
I
this.
mean, I could see that too.
Yeah, I can see
I mean,
why.
they sort of wrote it badly because it didn't really give Sammy anything to do at all except cry all the time.
Yeah,
Like, they didn't really show her character and personality other than Amy being there. That was the biggest part of the story. Like, they had no personalities except for each other. So
yeah.
that's what I think, anyways.
I think if they interacted with other characters, it'd be really good.
I mean, yeah, I mean, what it was with Jasmine,
Yeah,
her and Jasmine.
yeah. And I love the storyline of her pretending to be her sister. And I think if
That
they
was pretty
took
fun.
this storyline more seriously, she could be the main protagonist instead of Sky or Sean.
Easily.
Yeah,
Yeah, easily.
totally. All right, the next one's Jasmine.
So Jasmine is another very easy one. Basically, you can also argue that she was sort of the protagonist of Pahkitew in a way. I personally think not Scott, fucking Christ. Sean is.
Yeah,
I think Sean is the protagonist. I don't know what Sky did. I don't know what she did all season. She was just doing shit with Dave all season.
yeah,
But I can see why she was a finalist. But back on topic, Jasmine is another obvious finalist candidate. Honestly, during the first time I was watching it, I thought Jasmine was going to win because she's sort of like one of the more grounded characters in Pahkitew, which is not saying much at all. But she is a grounded character. So I personally think she would have been a better finalist than like Sean or Sky, both. And
yeah.
the way for her to get there is super easy. Just have her do what she did. Just extend that for like 2 more episodes or however many it was. She was already final 4, so you don't have to do much. So
Yeah, I don't know. She's just
yeah, it's so easy to do. So
yes, it's
there's
really
not
easy.
much to say.
That's the easiest thing it could do.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to change it. All right, moving on to Ridonculous Race. I'm just gonna put one person on the tier list to represent the whole team, but father and son. Um,
I
this
agree
is
with this. I agree with this.
yes, I agree, but this is mainly my pick because it makes sense why they would want to do like if the police kids were going to be in the finale, it makes sense for them to like do a double female team and a double male team for the marketing.
That's true.
So they would do that, and
Mm-hmm.
if they wanted to do that, just do father and son. Like it's perfect.
I think they had a good storyline.
Yeah,
I think one of the best storylines of the season with Dwayne sort of like, Junior accepting Dwayne for who he is, like as a dad.
true. It was real good. All right,
Mm-hmm.
who's next?
I mean, there's not much else to say about them. They have a storyline, and even then, their interaction with Brody and Jeff were also pretty fun.
Yeah, that's the best part of Ridonculous Race, I think, when the teams interact.
Yeah, they didn't do it often enough, I think, but when they did interact, it was pretty fun.
Yeah,
But
and
the
the mother and
sisters
daughter
is up
too.
next. Mm-hmm.
Really good
Oh yeah,
interaction.
that was like they actually made the mother and daughter bearable for like 2 seconds, so
Yeah,
that's an accomplishment.
yeah. But then the mom gets mad at him.
It's for no
Seeing that her
reason.
daughter is spoiled, and it's like, okay, character
Yeah,
development.
that
Who?
was pretty. That's pretty funny though. That was pretty funny though.
Yeah. And speaking of
But
the getting off topic, speaking of the mother and daughter,
mm,
they had such a weird storyline because her
they
daughter is
did.
such a bitch,
I mean, like
but she gets
they sort.
completely.
I mean, what happened? Like they just went to the mall and all of a sudden they're just chill.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I'm not gonna bother you again.
yeah. It's like
Like,
it's just gonna go
okay.
back to the way
Like
it
as if
was.
exactly. You just wanted to go to the mall.
True.
Like whatever.
All right. Next is
But
the sisters.
sisters, I have on here. It's pretty easy to understand why I have the sisters on here. Many people say they wanted the sisters to win, which I do understand. I personally would take them over the cadets. I'm not a big cadets fan, but that doesn't really matter all that much. For each of them, Kitty is just sort of a foil to Emma, which works very well in my opinion. So you don't really need to change Kitty at all that much. But for Emma, I really did not like that storyline with Noah all that much. I mean, it was weird. They just had like Noah being like a coma for like an episode because Emma said she wanted to wait or something.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But as a winner, I think Emma would still be a good character to win she's definitely one of the more grounded characters in the entire series.
Yeah.
The Ridonculous Race characters as a whole are pretty grounded,
Yeah.
but still, Emma is still very popular. Even if some people don't like her storyline with Noah, they still like Emma as a character. I still do like Emma as a character as well, even if I don't like what she did with Noah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the Scissors are a pretty obvious choice on why they should have won, or maybe is an option to win. There's not much you need to change about them as they made the final four.
Yeah.
Just swap the Surfers or the Cadets with them, and it works as well, if not better. So
Yeah. And I think Emma is like the better version of Courtney in a way, or at least a completed version.
yeah, that's true. She's
Yep.
like sort of what Courtney was in Island at the very, very, very start.
Yeah. And she is really mean to her sister in the start.
She is. She is.
Really mean.
But like that was a part of the storyline, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good.
I'm glad it didn't turn into Amy and Sammy point two.
Oh my god,
You know?
that would have been unbearable.
Yes. All right. My next pick is the Goths, and this is a crack pick.
It is.
This is a crack pick.
I mean, they didn't do anything until like halfway through.
I know, it's ridiculous that they. I think when I first watched it, I was really confused why they were there.
I mean, they were good when they showed up. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they didn't really do anything until the Ice Stairs were like, "Fuck you,"
Yeah.
and then the Goths were like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?" And then they took their bunny, like Loki or whatever.
Once they get the bunny, it really picks up.
Though. Yeah, that was pretty fun though. I really did like those interactions between the Ice Stairs and the Goths personally.
Yeah. So I think if you just rewrote it to make them more relevant, it would be a really weird winner, but I think it would be welcome.
It would work in a way, I think.
Yeah, it'd be kind of unpredictable.
Yep.
All right, who's next? Ice Dancers.
Ice Dancers. I mean, this is a weird one. All right. Personally, I would not have them in finale. I think the third place was a storyline they were working up from the very start.
Yeah.
Like, they got third place in like a skating competition or whatever. But if you really wanted to, as like a villain finale or whatever, maybe like have the Cadets versus the Ice Dancers, even if that doesn't really work that well with alternate endings.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you could do that. I have them on here just because of like a villain one or whatever. But personally, I still do think that the third place storyline was perfect.
Yeah.
They really built that up really well, actually. And even from the start, they like hammered in your head that they do not like getting third place, especially Jose.
Yes.
But yeah, as a winner, I think they would have been fine, not perfect, but fine. Like they would have been like middle tier.
Yeah.
As winners, but I have them on here just like as a fun pick or whatever.
Yep. These are our crack picks. These two at the end.
Yeah.
All right. Talking about 2023, if you haven't seen the season, you can click off if you don't want spoilers, but I would not change the final two at all. So like World Tour, this is more so talking about final three for my pick, which is Emma. I know some people don't like Emma, Trevor.
I mean, she's all right. I don't like her that much compared to all the other characters, but
yeah. I think she's slightly more entertaining than Chase. She's so quirky. Like that's a horrible thing to say. But like she really is. Like it's for real. And
I mean,
yeah.
her biggest issue is that they dragged out that Chase storyline for far too long, in my opinion. They should have given her like more stuff to do with Bowie.
Yeah. That's when she's at her best with Bowie, I think. And it's a shame that she goes home right after Chase, and the only episode she's not with Chase, she's talking about him the whole time.
I mean, yeah, she sort of like was a villain in that episode in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I think pretty sure she was like a sort of a bitch in that episode because like Bowie was like, "What the fuck? Why are you still talking about Chase, you dumbass?"
Yeah.
And then Emma was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, Bowie?" And then they just like split up or whatever.
She finds out Bowie voted for Chase and gets mad.
Oh yeah.
But it's
even
like,
though
I would vote
that's
Chase.
what she wanted him to do at the start.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous. But I think if she was in the final three, she could develop without Chase. And I love that Millie's in the final three. I know some people don't like it, but I'm completely fine with it.
I mean, I've watched season more than once, so maybe my opinion will change. I think she went way too far. Well, not way too far, but I know like some people really hate Millie because of that. I think they're sort of being blinded by the fact she got third and just ignoring her entire storyline. I think we all know who I'm talking about here if we're in the Discord server, but
exposed.
But some people are blinded by the fact by Millie being final three, and they just ignore her entire storyline for no. I'm getting off topic,
Yeah.
but they just ignore her entire storyline with Priya or Priya, however you want to say it. But yeah, they just put her in F tier because they don't like her as a final three,
Yeah.
which I can get. But like, come on, don't ignore the good stuff. Don't ignore the good stuff.
I know. Don't hate on my girl Millie. But
And
getting
the
back to
superhero thing
Emma,
was kind of yeah.
getting back to this girl, getting back to this influencer, I think if she was in the final three, she could like it would be they could make a satisfying conclusion with her and Bowie then.
Yeah.
Like you'd still have them fight, but then make up or whatever. And she is more competitive than Millie, so it would feel more tense
in
that way.
Yeah. Even if the finale is a little bit obvious with the final three.
Yeah.
But still.
All right. Now your pick is Julia.
I would have Julia in the finale, I think. Like, I'm not even saying that just to have like a villain winner or whatever. Even though I would personally have Julia against Bowie and have Bowie win, but there's alternate endings or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm coming around to the fact that alternate endings are kind of stupid. Even though I remember that we had like a big argument about that once or twice.
Yeah. My propaganda is working.
But still, I do think ignoring that argument, I still think Julia would have been a cool and unique winner. Because I mean, other than Alejandro, you don't really get Julia, and I do think she would be a better fit as a villain winner than Alejandro.
Yeah.
Like, so her ending was fine. It kind of was stupid because Millie just fell into like a pit full of coins or whatever.
Yeah.
But still,
Julia also didn't suspect that Bowie was gonna vote her out.
Yeah, exactly. It's so dumb. Like, even though early in the episode she was like, "I know what you're trying to do, Bowie,"
Yeah.
and then she just completely ignores it. But still, as a finalist, I do think her versus Bowie would have been really intense. Plus, the main part of that is that I'm on the side of that, like, Priya winning gives her parents like validation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they'll address that in the second season, or I hope they do. But I think Julia is like would add way more competitive. Well, not competitiveness. Priya is pretty competitive.
Yeah.
But add more tenseness, you could say. Like, there's a way bigger personal hatred between Bowie and Julia than there is between Priya and Bowie.
Yeah.
Personally, I think even that's not to say that Priya and Bowie don't have any beef, because they absolutely do. Because like Bowie's the one that sort of fucked up their friendship with Millie.
Yeah.
But still, I think Julia would have been a good fit, a great fit. Maybe I'll change my mind on rewatch, but I doubt it. But still, I think Julia would be a great pick to be a finalist. I know some people would not like that because she's mean or whatever, which is fine. It's a kid's show or a teenager show. Let's be honest, it's a kid's show. After that episode 5, it's a kid's show. But
don't remind me.
Still, I get why they didn't have Julia win, and I know they're not going to have Julia win unless she like goes on a redemption arc or whatever. But as a personal opinion, I think Julia would have been a fine winner.
I think
maybe not in the sense. Yeah.
I think she could have been a solid final 3.
Yeah, that's true.
She was
I
third
think
place.
Final 4 was a weird place to eliminate her, personally.
Yeah.
I think Final 3 would have been better, and then maybe could wrap up the Millie stuff in Final 4 and probably be more like agitated in the Final 3. That's just me spitballing.
Mm-hmm.
That is one way you could do it. Final 3, Final 2, whatever you want with Julia. I do think she has her spot in the season, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And when it comes to Millie, I actually like that she's in the finale because I think the Millie Priya drama really works in the finale context. It gives it more stakes than just the competition. And so I actually like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do understand why people would want the Millie Priya stuff to wrap up sooner. So if they could write a way for it to still be really dramatic, but it happens sooner, that'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue with Millie is that it's so obvious she's not going to make finale. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, there's tenseness there, don't get me wrong, between Priya and Millie.
Yeah.
It's just so obvious. At that point, the finale is going to be Bowie and Priya.
Yeah.
With Julia in there, you could be like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, she's a villain, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But still.
But it is a reboot, so...
Yeah.
You can kind of be like, you don't know if they're going to change it. Make it edgy.
Yeah. Yeah. But still. I don't... While watching, not to get off, I was sort of really pissed off that Millie made the final 3. But now that sort of time has moved on, I'm sort of more fine with it. I wouldn't personally pick Millie but I'm more fine with it, with her being in final three.
Yeah.
Now that I sort of understand the story better.
Yeah. My job as a total drama fan is to protect against the Millie hate.
Yeah. I mean, the Reddit hates her so much.
Yes. And the alternate endings, of course. My propaganda about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm turning one fan at a time.
Yeah, I think alternate endings would work in a finale like Praya and Chloe, but like with World Tour, Revenge, and even like Pahkitew. I mean, Pahkitew does not need a fucking alternate ending.
Yeah.
Sean and Sky are both mid-level protagonists,
Yeah.
but still, that's a personal take, a hot take, you could say.
Maybe All Stars too, because it doesn't matter who wins, so you could go either way.
Yeah. Oh god, it really does not matter.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike, like even if Mike loses, or even Zoe loses, they're both getting the money. They're obviously going to split the money, so
it's like,
why doesn't matter.
All right, yeah. Out of everyone on the list, who would you say like is your number one pick to be a winner for the season?
Well, not winner per se, but final three. It would obviously be Tyler, but I'm biased. So outside of Tyler, I would probably say Harold in action.
Yeah, it's a good
Harold or Lindsay in action. I think.
Yeah.
Or Cordy in All Stars if you wrote her differently.
Yes, that's true. I agree with those, but also Lashana for action. And I know that's a hot take, but I think she would have made an amazing finalist and winner, especially against Duncan. I think would be 10th.
Duncan, yeah.
And another unpopular opinion, Sammy and Pahkitew, if you wrote it differently.
I actually agree with that. I think I made Sammy my Pahkitew winner in my way, but I know a lot of people will not agree with that. So it's still a hot take, but I personally agree with it.
Yeah, the further it goes on, I guess it would be more obvious, but I still think it's a better story than Sky or Sean.
Sky did nothing. She did nothing all season long. She did nothing. She just beat with Dave the entire season.
Yes.
Like, I don't even remember any other interactions she had other than Dave. Like, I'm trying to remember, but I don't.
She starts interacting with Sugar, like, in the Final Four or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, like in the talent show, whatever. Yeah. It's like the final off-topic, but like in the Pahkitew final three, it's like they don't even know each other. It's like they never even interacted.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Sugar and Sky, it's like they don't know each other.
They're all on the same team.
That's probably the worst final three out of the entire show. Because with All Stars, at least you could be like, well, All Stars is sort of a final four.
Yeah.
But with like Gwen, Scott, Zoe, and Mike, at least you say they know each other.
Yeah.
Like, god damn.
It feels like there's a little bit of a dynamic there.
Yeah. Like Pahkitew, they never even like interact across teams, and they barely even interact on team. So yeah.
It's ridiculous. But anyways, now obligatory outro. Thank you for watching this incredibly long and messy video. Yep. All right. Say bye, Trevor.
It was fun, though. All right. Goodbye. It was fun being on here. Yeah. And
thank you for coming on my podcast. Total Drama Podcast. Oh, yeah.